Call to order the Maryville County Board of Commissioners regular meeting December 11th at 2019. And go and stand for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we come thank you for our new blessing, and thank you for allowing us to come into this month of December at the end of the year. We ask that you bless us as we do the coming business. We ask that as we are here today, that you lift us up so that we can do things that we can do. If I ask you to do I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we can adopt it, we need to make some adjustments. We need to add under new business, we need to add item 21, appointment to the zoning board of appeals for District 2. And then item 22 would be the appointment to the water and sewer authority to fill an unexpired term of Tom Arnold on District 4. Can I get a motion that we amend the agenda of these items? Is there a second? There was a motion by Commissioner Mayfield and second by Commissioner Gray. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to get a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented with the All right, at this time, I'd like to get a motion to accept the minutes as presented for November 26th work session at 4 o'clock. Is there a second? There's a motion by Commissioner Mayfield and a second by Commissioner McCoy. Work session as presented. I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to accept the minutes for the regular meeting on November 26th at 6 p.m. Can I get a motion for that? Is there a second? There's a motion by Commissioner Hatton and a second by Commissioner Mayfield. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, the next item on the agenda is municipal comments. So, Mayor Glover, do you have anything you would like to do?
I would just like to say thank you for all you all have done for the city of Greenville this year. And I want to again commend Commissioner Gray and others who had such a wonderful country Christmas 2 weeks ago. And I'd like to wish all of you a Merry and say, all of them. I'm going to say Merry Christmas, because that's just what I do. So hopefully I have a definitive one like this Christmas. And keep us in your prayers. I hope all of us will have a prosperous, great working relationship in 2020. Thank you so very much. Moving on to our Constitution officers.
Mr. Love, Merry Christmas.
The next item on the agenda is department head comments.
Nothing in this comment.
Thank you.
Very briefly, I want to give you our typical numbers that we have. Our billing for last month was around $72,000. It's within 100 or two from last year. For the year, we're tracking about 804. We're about $4,000 or $5,000 over where we were last year. It's, it does fluctuate, but it's tracking pretty well. Not a lot else going on. We had a lot of successes with training and some certifications I want to probably bring to you in one of the next evening sessions. We're very proud of some accomplishments. We'll go into that detail later. We had probably a great success in that area that we've never had in this county before, so I'm really looking forward to trying to acknowledge some of the hard work that's gone into that, a lot of the people that did that and the people that achieved those goals. We had not a bad month, 3 structure fires last month. 15 MVCs. Most of the rest of the calls were kind of routine, mundane. Total calls 379 for the month, so that's about all I have. Thank you.
I do want to, if you don't mind, comment a little bit on the event that happened this past Saturday. You don't have a dinner or Christmas?
We did. We had a Christmas dinner that, you know, we've been doing, I think, not sure, maybe, I think Britta started a long time ago. And we're trying to continue it on. It was a pretty nice event, and probably our first dinner that I would say is, you know, with our paid fire department. We had a couple of people here last year on the roster, but we really hadn't had it established and deployed, so that was pretty exciting. And it went well. We probably all gained a lot of weight that we didn't need, but it was a nice dinner. So.
Thank you all for putting that together.
It's a fun time of year. We enjoy these types of things, you know, the country Christmas and all these things. Just, you know, it keeps us busy, but we enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Sean?
I just want to remind everybody, Adopt on Shop, we have several fur babies down there for adoption. Y'all come on down and get you a good one. I also want to let everybody know we are at a 98.6% live release rate. That means 98.6% of the animals get a forever home. And I also want to tell everybody we won second place on the Country Christmas break.
Yeah. It is so good to have
Yes,
you
it
back. Thank you.
Good to see you.
We got a new look, we see. But it's glad to have you back. Glad to have you back.
Madam Chairman, Board of Commissioners, glad to have Terrell back. Got a big smile on his face. Just wanted to briefly comment on some of the activities through the year. On the mowing, they did 414 roads versus 262 the year before. Motor grading, 271 roads were scraped versus 132 the year before. And then patching, 255 roads versus 153 the year before. Those are just a few of those numbers. Fire station update, waiting on the steel packages to come for Cove Road, Pebble Brook, and they're still waiting to bring the final grade up on the Woodbury site and get the foundation for it there. And other things that have been going on, I'm starting to develop some safety policies and procedures for the department that we can kind of start working on here in the upcoming year. And that's about it.
Anyone have any comments or questions?
I just hate the trouble we're continuing to have down there off the Cold Springs Road and Trammell Road. I understand you got the gate put back up or whatever, but hopefully we're going to catch somebody.
Yeah.
Tear it down.
Yeah, it's kind of been a battle.
It has
The
been.
other end doesn't seem to be a problem. It seems to be the Trammell Road end. So today they had to do a little cutting to get the gate fit where and put the lock back on. So that should be done this morning.
Thank you for keeping on it.
Or trying.
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. Miss Jane? Oh, I got expressed. Okay, you can go ahead, Miss Jane, if you have
I
anything.
just want to say what everybody else is saying, Sean, and Christmas, and thank you for what you do. You don't get enough praise for all that you have to do as a commissioner, and I just want to let you know that I appreciate each and every one. And I hope you have a good Christmas and have a very
Thank you. All right, for Kathy, you're here to, to do the planning and zoning?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll try to finish the Kathy best I can. I give each of y'all a handout sheet, and for the average for November, it went down a little bit to $986,800 for business, for building and housing permits. But December up to now, we've already done $1,344,264. So this month is up, and I know we've got about 7 to 10 permits are supposed to be coming in today. So that number will go up probably close to another 800 to $1 million for December. Business license, we're at 30% renewed, Alcohol license, we're at 80% renewed. We only got, I think, 2 more alcohol licenses to come in. Any questions?
What was the percentage on the alcohol you said?
80%.
80%?
And when is the due date for the business license? Is it at the end of December or January?
It's the end of the year. Yes, ma'am.
Does any other commissioners have any other questions or comments at this time? If not, thank you for your
Thank you.
report. Jean? You don't have anything else? I haven't overlooked anyone? Thank you. There is nothing under public hearing, so there's no need for a public hearing. The next item on the agenda, unfinished business. And under that, we have the Safe Bill agreement. Darren, would you like to cover that? I know they've done a presentation. I understand we have a representative from Safe Bill here today.
Yes, ma'am. We, this came before the board at the last meeting, and we were asked to get some additional information. And I think Kathy did that, presented that to the board. We have been with one inspector for quite a while now. We really do need to make a decision on which way we go, either with Safe Bill or moving forward. As I said last time we met, Safe Bill has a good reputation in the areas that I've checked and we've been working. And it's a one-year contract. And, you know, time you add back in the additional inspector, take care of the trucks and a variety of other things, you're probably pretty much back to what the not to exceed cost is on the Safe Bill. And of course, if you reach that, you're going to permit more homes. There's going to be more dollars coming in, and it also comes with software packages and some other things. So I know the staff would very much like to go forward with this concept, see how it works. If it doesn't work out for some reason, then we can go back and look at it. But we do have to make a decision and move somewhere on this because, as Blue said, we've got 10 more permits coming in, and they're running pretty hard right now. And I would imagine that right after the first of the year, you're going to see a lot coming in, a lot more than what we've seen here.
All right.
And
For the
guys
board.
from Safe Bill are here if the board has any further.
I was going to ask this, with the board, is there a need for the representative from Safe Bill to come back up and share anything, or anyone have any questions?
I just want to make a statement. I understand that the open position of inspector has been open for a long time, and I haven't seen it advertised, nor have I seen where we have interviewed anybody. And I think that we should have tried to secure another inspector instead of putting that to the side. And I think that's the direction we need to move in. I do not feel that we need to go with a private company outside of where we are. And I think had we advertised that properly and interviewed for that position, then we could have already had something in place that wouldn't be taken away and making the job of that particular office more difficult.
We did advertise it.
But it hasn't been continued to advertise.
No, it
It's
hasn't.
on, it's on our website, on our websites too.
Have we had applications?
We did have a few.
Have we interviewed?
I don't interview, you'd have to ask them if they did.
I don't know that they had a lot of candidates to do. I don't know. I can find
There are very
out.
few candidates.
Any other commissioners have any comments or anything at this time? I would like to say that with the growth that we're having in reference to homes building, be it individuals or subdivisions, I think it is to our advantage to be as proactive as we can. As Ms. Theron has already indicated, Safeville has a great reputation. What I'm most interested in is the fact that they provide us with some software that will allow us to have updated information on the status of the homes that are being built and being inspected. I'm also the fact that they will always have someone available if, whatever reason, someone is not here from our staffing to do the work. We have found ourselves just in a couple of weeks not having someone, and like Commissioner Threadgill, I can understand the concern of advertising and doing that, but once again, just having certified people that can come in and do this job and doing the math, I think it's going to be a better savings for the county as a whole. So these are just my thoughts. If anyone else would like to comment, they can at this time.
I have to comment too. I agree with what you say, and we are experiencing a lot of growth, and it's residential growth there. And I think we're going into some territory we haven't been into anytime recently anyway. And with this contract, I mean, there is a way out if it doesn't work. If there was no way out, I'd be hesitant, and I really just don't, I'm hopeful it won't go to that max amount anyway, but personally, I feel like it's something that we need to try, knowing that we can get out of it if it's not, turns out to not be what's best for that department and for the county.
Now, I feel had you possibly, if it did max out at 150, for continuing the exact salary in this particular department, with a possibility of an additional 150. I know that's max, and I hear the trucks and the fuel and the upkeep and all that, and the insurance too, but we're maintaining everything that we have, except one position that I honestly don't think we've interviewed. And I do agree that we're going to grow, and I agree that we need something, but I think, and nothing against Safefield, I read your history and you're a great company, but I honestly think we need to keep it in-house.
We are going to need code enforcement. That's an area where we're sorely lacking in. We need to keep up with the temperature and the other things that are going on. In fact, Butch was talking to me earlier today about a couple of things that are an issue now. So the other position would be converted over to code enforcement.
Why is it?
My position is that maybe even if we would hire another inspector, we still would be left with the problem of outdated software. It's time for us as a county to come into the 21st century, and Safefield will be able to bring that software to us. So even if we put on another inspector, we're still left behind, and the department still will not be able to function as it should.
And I agree on the software, but I do think we can find outside software that will do the same thing.
And as far as the software, if I understood it right, it's going to be able to communicate between departments as well.
Right.
So
And if
hopefully
this
we'll
doesn't
have
work out,
that.
it's gone.
Huh?
If this doesn't work out and we terminate this contract, the software goes with the contract, so that's something else.
Well, then we might have to seek out some other software then, like I said, because it's important that these departments communicate between them.
All right.
Madam Chair, I think my decision is going to turn on the very juncture of time that we've got here. We've got to make a decision almost. It looks like we're going to have to move. I understand training folks, hiring folks, and all that. And I think it's just a time element.
I agree with you on that as well. Because one of the things is, as builders come into the community, they want to know how efficient we are, and it is costly to builders when they can't get things done in a timely manner, and that should not be on them, as the county does not have the proper staffing or the things in place. If there's any more comments at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion regarding the Safefield contract. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept the contract that was presented to us.
A second.
So there's been a motion by Commissioner Bray and second by Commissioner Hadley. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor of going in agreement with Safefield? Okay. Is anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. To the Safefield representative, thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to doing business with you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Going to new business. The next item on the agenda is a report from the tax commissioner, Ms. Andrea Peacock.
Chairman, we sent a letter asking tax commissioner to be present today to just give you guys an update on the office and everything that's going on. And, we also asked that she update us on the operation of the office, including current collection delinquency procedures have in place to ensure proper accounting. And as we said, going forward, we'd like to have an annual update as well. received a packet of information, which I think all of you have provided to you on the office. And we also received a letter from Ms. Peacock, it was yesterday. It says, thanks for the invite to attend the meeting being held on 12/11/19, but at this time I will not be able to attend. Each month we send payout to the Commissioner's Office. Reports are attached with checks showing taxes collected. Also in these reports you'll find a percentage of taxes collected in past due. In an effort to help in what I'm assuming you are looking for, I've sent additional 4 detailed reports. As far as the Tax Commissioner's Office will be operating, will continue to be under my supervision with the assistance of my professional staff. And so, Ms. Peacock has indicated she would not be available today.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Gay. We appreciate that. The next item on new business is recognizing Kelly Mitchell for tax appraisal 1.
Gee, look, Greg, I didn't use Kevin.
This is Kelly Mitchell, our newest employee as of this year. She went October. Yes, and received her appraiser 1 certification.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The next item under new business is request from the citizen group to discuss the Oakland Road Bridge. The representatives are here, you can come up. Once again, state your name and Beverly for the record. I understand, Ms. Jenkins, you passed out some material earlier. You want to make sure that Beverly has, yeah, I did. I want to make sure Beverly has one for the records.
Does everyone have one?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members of the board, good morning. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this issue. It's near and dear to my heart. The reconstruction of the bridge located on White Oak Creek. My name is Catherine Jenkins. I'm a resident of Meriwether County. It is my home. I'm here today as part of a group, the White Oak Creek Bridge Committee. We consist of 9 individuals, including myself. Bruce O'Neill is here, he's the project manager, and Ken Rawlingson is the chairman of our group. So this discussion will take approximately 10 minutes, and I will cover why we are behind this effort, why it's important to us. We're going to give you a light version of how we plan to accomplish this, and then last but not least, what we would like from you as members of this commission. To start off, I want to talk a little bit about why this is important to us. And as we have seen today, this county is growing, and the need for infrastructure will continue to grow. This bridge, although it will be small, will play an important role in reconnecting communities in this county. As it sits, it's going to connect what is known as the Valley and other communities on the north side of the creek to towns and community. It's going to give a direct route from the Robinson Martin community to Gay, and then it also allows a more direct route to Greenville itself. Although it is going to be a 1-lane bridge, it's going to also allow for an alternate route in the event of flooding or other natural disasters. And we've already seen that happen in this area. So the damage to the more frequently traveled roads is something that we expect to happen in the future. So having this alternate route, is just one thing that I believe is prudent. So there are also significant other reasons to have this road and this bridge. Roads that are less traveled have now become an area of recreation. I'm not sure if any of you have heard of this group. Well, it's not a group, it's actually a style of bicycle riding. They're called gravel grinders. There's actually a big group in Sonoy And they have bikes specially designed to travel on gravel and dirt roads. And this sport is the fastest growing sport in the bicycling world. It's becoming more popular. There's more bikes being built for this than any other bike as far as mountain bikes and road bikes. And we are in a prime position for that. The other things that we have in this area that are unique are the Mount Carmel community. We have the Flint River. It's just right next door. The White Oak Creek itself flows into the Flint River. We also have the Joe Kurtz Wildlife Reserve. And so all these things create a community and a unique place that will draw visitors in once people know it's there. And lastly, for me, this is a personal issue as far as the history of this place. This is part of our culture, this is part of our heritage, this area, and I just don't want to see it disappear. I think we've seen on social media there's a lot of vanishing Georgia, and I just don't want to see this disappear. So next what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about what we plan to accomplish, how we're going to do it. And so we aren't starting this bridge from scratch. This bridge, the bridge rebuild has already started. The most costly elements, the bridge foundation and the cross beams are already in place. The foundation was verified by GDOT, and we all heard that report that Mr. Gay issued a few months back. The cross beams are in place, and they do need to be equally spaced, and this can easily be done with cross bracing. The cross beams will then, our plan is to have a concrete base that is attached to the top of the beams, and this concrete base will ensure the stability of this bridge in the event that if we do put a wooden top on top of the bridge, that even if it is burned, it is not going to destroy the bridge as it has in the past. So our plan is not to rebuild the original bridge, but we want to build a bridge that is better, and we already have the structure started. The cross beams are something that was put in place and are still there. They were put in place almost 30 years ago, I believe, and they're still there. And they're still in good condition. We just have to do some minor changes. So we want to make sure that this bridge and what we hope to have is a covered bridge in the future. But that's not something that we have to have immediately. So we're looking at ways to get this bridge open, and then making sure that this bridge and the effort we put into it is going to last a long time. And of course, it's got to make sure that it is within public safety standards. As a group, we understand how paramount safety is. We are currently awaiting plans to be made available, courtesy of Mr. Gay. When we spoke last, our last meeting, he volunteered to reach out with GDOT and try to acquire some bridge plans. But we know that this is a unique undertaking, and so in the event that GDOT does not have plans readily available, what we can do is we can work with this organization. It's called the National Society for the Preservation of Covered Bridges, and they're willing to help. We've already made contact, and we're in the process of exchanging information to determine the recommended steps forward here. So another key issue that we recognize is going to be funding. So the Bridge Committee has partnered with Citizens for Action for several reasons. One, Citizens Action is an established group, and that makes attaining grants and donations more likely. Once this group has authorization, fundraising can start in earnest. Currently we have $50,000 that has been set into an account specifically for this bridge, and we are ready to begin. We are also working on grants and other matching funds so that we hope to turn the $50,000 into more money. We don't currently have a hard estimate on the cost of this bridge. We do have some plans that will allow us to, what we hope is to come in under an additional $100,000. But right now we really have to talk to contractors to get a good estimate. So that's another thing that we plan to do. So land use. Land use is going to be another issue that we're going to have to address. And one of the good things is that this bridge, our plans are going to be similar in nature, a similar manner to the original bridge. And so generally speaking, A bridge of similar dimension and scope can be rebuilt without impinging on the property rights of the adjoining landowners. Under the law, it's a recognized concept that the social utility, the importance of a bridge, allows the government the right to maintain the bridge and other required infrastructures such as spillways and ditches. And again, like I said, the deeds are going to need to be examined of the adjoining landowners, and we want to make sure that we recognize and respect the property rights of these individuals. And as we move forward, if any stipulations or requirements need to be set, we can address those as they become apparent. So the last issue is government liability. And we understand as a commission that we don't want to add to any of the liability that you currently have. And again, per our last meeting with Mr. Gay several weeks ago, we all agreed that the county does not need to take on these additional liabilities. So we have been working and we've talked to multiple insurance agencies. And what we've come to realize is what we need to do is we need to have a contractor that we can hire. And then that the contractor himself or herself, the company will have its own insurance, and that we can do a rider, or we can work with them to determine what insurance we need to have in place so that everyone is happy with the risks associated. So we currently have a few in mind, but we don't have anything concrete. Right now, what we need to move forward is a commitment. And members of the commission, that is what we are here to do today, is ask for a commitment from you and the authorization to move forward to build this bridge. And so at this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Bruce O'Neill to come up, and he wants to talk a little bit about the community of on the north side of the bridge, and he can talk a little bit more in depth at the process of building this bridge.
My name is Bruce O'Neill. I am a lifetime resident of Meriwether County. Any questions that the commissioners have, I'd like to address those and reassure the commission that if we are allowed to build this bridge, it'll be built right by DOT specs, and we will work with the county in any way we can to make that happen. Safety is always a big issue, especially well. Counties are liable. The first phase of this bridge probably will be contracted. Okay. We need some assistance in the area of pouring concrete, laying a foundation, equalizing all those bridges all the way across, securing those beams together to make it work as one unit. And we are talking to have been talking to two or three different contractors, local contractors, all over in Meriwether County, to assist us in this area. But we need to know it's okay to move forward with this before we confirm anything. As Catherine said, this bridge is important to this area. This bridge burned years ago, and it should have been put back a whole lot earlier than this. The county was kind of strapped with not enough funds to do that, and not enough employees to do that. So it was put on the wayside longer than it should have been. There's been a lot of interest in this area rebuilding this bridge, not in the last year or two, but since it's burned. And it would be a valuable resource for the Mount Carmel area, the whole northeast corner of Meriwether County, as far as a different route to get back to town if we did have some kind of disaster, some kind of washout. And the closer you get to the river, the more water is in all the streams, the more apt it is to wash out something, as we noticed the last 12 months on Mount Carmel. And Mount Carmel was an excellent road, you know, but it failed in two different places over there, and we needed alternate routes. But for those people to get to, and we do want them to trade in Meriwether County, get to Ingalls, get to Gay, get to Greenville, and get to Woodbury, and the whole south end of the county where most of the trade is done. So it's been a lot of talk and conversation the last years in putting this bridge back. And I hope it's about to happen. And got my promise that it will be put together correctly. It will be an asset to Meriwether County for many, many years to come. And we want to put it back a whole lot stronger than what it originally was. And after we get the cement poured on the bridge, which is a safety factor, plus it's a stronger bridge on top of these beams. And if there was to be a flood or a fire again, like Catherine said, the foundation up under this bridge will not be damaged in any way. We'll be able to go right back up the covered bridge on top of it. We don't want to think in that area, but you really have to think in that area for the future. Things are going to happen, sometimes uncontrollable by anybody, nature, disgruntled people, or whatever, you know. And so we thought it'd be better to put cement top on it. Later on, when we build a covered bridge, we could go right back on top of that cement with the wood, and the cement will not even show. You will not even be able to tell it unless you crawl up under the bridge and look at it. But I received a lot of phone calls thanking us taking this up, especially in the Mount Carmel and the immediate area, the road. And it seems to be a glimmer of hope that this might really happen this time. We made plans to do this several times when we put the beams in. Different things happened. We had planned on putting this bridge back in when I first came to Meriwether County. We needed an engineer to put the part together, and I was moved out of Public Works over to that area. And I was glad to do that because I know we needed some resource and more money coming into the county. So I gladly went over, did what I had to do to assure the park had all the infrastructure it needed. And I kind of run out of time and money. We just didn't have time to do it. But this community up there really would like to see this bridge put back in place. And of course, what I have to do with this, I will assure the commissioners that we will respect all the landowners on all sides of it, and we'll do what's right by them, because if I was a landowner next to that bridge, I would want the assurances that it was going to be controlled right and not interfere with any business on either side of it. You know, and I hope when we get it built and get it opened back up that the proper people, code enforcement, sheriff's department, all will help us police this road so it doesn't turn into a dump. And at this time, I'll entertain any questions commissioners might have for me, you know. Mr. Gay also.
Madam Chair, I would have a question as I listen to how this unfolds. And you're right, the beams are out there, those 30-inch beams are there in place. When you're out in the middle of those things, they're what, 6 to 10 inch sway when you get out there. So you're talking about putting a metal superstructure under there. You're going to brace them?
We're going to X-brace them.
You're going to X-brace each one of them, and obviously you're going to have some metal workers or iron workers or somebody out there to do the welding.
Sure.
Okay. And then what I'm hearing too, you're going to put an apron out there. You're going to put a metal apron and then you're going to pour concrete.
Yes.
Okay.
And we would like, if I can elaborate just a little bit, we would like to extend it out. We have more area than what we need for a one-lane road.
Right.
So we're going to pull that all the way on out to the edges, so we'll have 12 inches on each side to come back for a wooden structure for the covered bridge later on.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were going to use that for walking or biking or what when you said you had some extra out there.
Yes.
Do we have any drawings on this? Do y'all know how you're going to do it yet?
In my mind, I really know how it needs to be done. We're waiting on Mr. Gay to get us the drawings from the DOT. He recommended us using drawings from the DOT, so we really...
Well, at least DOT approved. I don't know if they necessarily have to be from the DOT.
That's right.
But at least
that's right. And if we still have trouble getting those, you know, We got people that can draw it up also. But I was going by Mr. Gay's recommendation.
Sure.
Let's try the DOT first and see if they got some. I know Talbot County got a set of drawings from the office in Thomaston, which I think they got them from Atlanta, as to how to build that one.
Well, I think the DOT is a good idea, but a PE sign-off would probably take care of it.
That's right, and we'll go that way, that route if we have any trouble. I know the DOT's busy. They got thousands and thousands of bridges all over Georgia that need upgrading, you know, so we'll go whatever route we need to go, and we won't proceed with it till the county commission and Mr. Gay's approval.
I think that just illustrates, Bruce, what we're looking for and what we're going to need as a commission is seeing a plan, seeing how you've got it laid out. You know, almost, I use this term a lot, a critical path. How are you going to get from point A to point B?
That's right. You got to have a plan.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to have. Yeah.
And I want to elaborate on that too, because I do commend you for the vision y'all have for it. It's great.
Yes.
But
Yes.
on our side, before I think we can make a motion to move forward, we would need an exact plan of what we're looking at. And it would have to be exact, it would have to be approved. And then there was also a statement of dealing with contractors locally for the insurance and things like that. I think on top of that, what we would also need, and our council would have to let us know, but I think we would have to have a commitment from them to this board on what it would cover, what they would cover, what they would be responsible for, what they would see, oversee, and things like that before I could actually make a commitment to do something.
Yes, that's understandable.
Just a comment on the GDOT plans. GDOT is committed to try to find us a set of plans. What they needed to know is, what do you want there? Are you going to build that covered bridge, or do you want just a regular beam bridge? And that's one of the reasons I'm talking today, is to find out exactly what, you know, the county wants. That way we can go and say, this is what we want to see.
I wonder if the original plans exist anywhere. I mean, I know that's hard to say, but if the Historical Society has it listed, I wonder if the plans do exist anywhere, if we could incorporate that into a newer, more updated version.
I'm sure plans exist somewhere. I wouldn't know where to start other than the Historical Society, you know, and it might not be the exact bridges, because there were several different types of covered bridges built in Georgia during that period, and most any of them would work, you know. What we'd like to see done first is get started on as quick as possible. And I understand all the stuff that we have to do beforehand. Get this open to through traffic as quick as we can. Build it in a manner where it can easily be finished as a covered bridge later. You know, but first obligation we would like to do, and our committee would like to do, is get it to county standards and open it as fast as we can. By no means it would mean taking shortcuts.
Commissioner McCoy, I think you wanted to make a comment.
Well, what I was going to say, I think your first hurdle is going to be this steel superstructure.
That's right.
I think once you get that, you know, the plans for that, get it laid out so we can see it. That'll be your first hurdle.
That's right. And I don't know where all of y'all had a chance to go down to Talbot County and look at that one or not. And I'm not saying that's the best bridge in the world. But we went down there.
Looks a little dicey in some places, to be honest with you.
The top on it.
I hunt land right there, so I know what it is.
The top on it, anyway, the superstructure is great, you know. But our group did go down and view it this past week, and had a good meeting. Went down and looked at everything, took more pictures of it. We got an idea, but we also got ideas how to make that structure a whole lot better. The superstructure under it is sound. I can tell you that. And we did observe, not to go against anything anybody said, that deck on that one down there is secure to the bottom. But you got to go up under there and really get close to it. They got beams up under there on the inside of those webs that actually anchor it down to it ever so many feet, just like the X-braces.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see those. We saw some bracing, wood bracing underneath.
Yes.
But it looked like it was more to tie.
These are metal braces, you know, and they wasn't painted like the X braces, so they didn't stand out, but they are there between every beam.
I do want to make a comment. First of all, I want to applaud you, Ms. Jenkins, and your group for the work that you've done thus far. Once again, this is an historical bridge. It has a lot of history for Meriwether County, and as it was stated earlier, for whatever reason, it never got rebuilt, which it should have. So this board has an opportunity to do something very unique with the help of the citizens. And for you all to make such a commitment on your level, I applaud you. So I just want to get clarity here, is that right now you're asking this board, can you move forward? I understand certain questions been asked, certain details you need to do, but in order to just move forward, to get that information from the designer, from the engineer, you need an approval from this board just to go and speak on behalf of those things getting done, and then come back with that information to the board before anything is done.
That's right.
So today, you're just asking for our blessing so that you can move forward to at least reach out to these individuals, and you're not doing it solely as a group. Is that the clarity that I have on that? All right.
But I don't think we have to vote for them to go and get plans and present it to us.
Well, I would like to ask our attorney in reference to that, because they're going to be speaking on behalf of the board or individual groups. I know they're nonprofit, but at the end of the day, to state that we're wanting to do this, we have the blessing of the board. So where does that stand legally? Is there any, or is there a need?
Yeah, I mean, you can have a motion, you know, like a motion to approve their proceeding with getting plans to present to the board. Okay. That wouldn't bind y'all to anything. And if they needed to prove that this board was in favor of them getting some plans, they could show them minutes of the meeting.
I think it's...
That wouldn't obligate y'all.
I think it's exactly right, because several contractors that I talked to, the first thing they wanted to know was, is the Board of Commissioners on board with this?
Right.
But right now, I really can't prove that. You know?
Hey, look, Bruce, I want to tell you, you said that it's wider than what's expected. I know this is just a picture, but I'm sitting here looking at it, and it has the
walkway. See, that's what I was going to say. We need that.
Something like this.
Something to walk on the...
Good as it, I mean, you know,
That's
in
what I
the
was
line
going to
of
say.
what it was, we could do a pedestrian because it is wider.
Since it's a one-lane road, that's an excellent idea.
Right, but you
Because
said
they
it's
will
wider
be
than
people bicycling and walking, and looking and taking...
Well, being a
pictures and all
historic
that.
area, people want to get out and look around. I mean, the days we went down, you get out and look at the rocks, whatever's out there.
That's right.
Like I said, I don't know who gave us this or you did, but we need something like that over to the
Right,
side.
because if they want to fish off of it, like we said, but
Yeah, I
I
don't
really do,
think they
if
get
we
all the
move
way.
forward with this, I really do want to see it
real
what
and stuff.
what it was. And if we get to a finished product or close to it, I'd really like to reach out to the original builder's family as close as we can to
That's a
have
good
it
idea.
involved at that point of where it comes back. If we get to this, but because you said it is wider than what we need.
It is.
If
We
we
actually got a
plan to
little
do
over a
pedestrian,
foot
right.
and a half on each side to work with. They moved all that to one side.
Right.
So we would have room
Have
for
a
walkway.
walkway.
And to say one other thing, when we had the dedication of Code Bridge at Inlet, we did reach out to the family. And the family, some of them still live in Brown LaGrange. He's buried. They did come over and they spent time with us and they really enjoyed it.
See, if we get a plan and we have something like that, I'd really like to, I know nothing is set in stone, but if we can get a monetary amount of what it looks like to complete something like this, that helps my vision and me to be able to do something and make the right decision as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to look at 20,000 here, 100,000 there, 50,000 here. I'd really like to see projected what it would cost, and then what it would cost to get it to where it's passable, and then to have the finished product as well, roughly.
Yes.
Commissioner.
So from my understanding, so we can move on, I think that what you are asking and what Commissioner Hines indicated is that you just need our blessing or to give you a preliminary approval to move forward, and then any final plan
Sure. That's exactly what we need.
And I think that's what we need to do there and move on.
Madam Chair, one thing, I'm sitting here thinking about nuts and bolts of this whole thing. What we really need, Bruce, to communicate with us is a flow chart. If you would set up, is you move through each step, so we can look at that. If it requires an EPD certification, if they have to come out and okay disturbance of the bank or whatever, we need all of that stuff lined up in like a critical path, a flow chart, so we can understand what's taking place and what has been, where the risk has been mitigated. We'd like to see that. I think that's the best way to do it.
I do want to comment again. A lot has been said, and a lot of it has its merits. But at the end of the day, as Commissioner Gray was just commenting, the main objective right now is to give you all the opportunity to go forward, so that when you are talking to engineers or you go talk to the family or go to these historical societies, you've got something to say. You have the blessing of the Meriwether County Board of Commissioners, so that when you get all this data back, you can bring it back to us in a flow chart, in steps, and also on that matter.
Well,
Okay?
given that, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward today and allow the Citizens for Action Group to move forward in obtaining plans to present back to this board.
Second. Okay, she
So
already
there's
did.
been a motion by Commissioner Threadgill and second by Commissioner Gray. At this time, I'd like to ask for to move forward with the citizens to do the, I'm sorry, I lost my thoughts. To move forward to get information about redoing the bridge.
Okay.
Can I get a vote on this? All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Thank you all once again for the work, and I know you are going to do a great job.
Y'all want this picture?
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate it.
That's the first time we had extra. I saw this and I thought, wow, that would be good. I also have a list of duties and responsibilities. If y'all don't mind, I'll share that with them, because I
That'd be
think
fine.
Precisely right.
That'd be fine.
that timeline and everything else.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And once you all get that, they can bring it back to the board in more detail.
Yeah, that'd be lots more
That'll be about
discussion
less
to come.
easier, because we're making a lot of assumptions right now without actual anything in writing.
But it's things that we felt important.
Oh, and I'm not saying it
And
wasn't
they are
important.
important.
They are important,
Right.
but I'm just
I just
saying,
didn't want them to mean.
yeah, we understand that. I think the thing is now, since you have that, you can come back with something in writing to meet all the comments that are made today and fulfill and answer those and have it in a written document. Thank you all. The next item on the new business is the purchase of a 2015 Caterpillar and a 320 EL excavator. Theron, would you like to discuss this, or is
Yes,
this with
ma'am.
Bill coming up?
Really would. We have a old bulldozer right there. We rarely use it. It's just this big, and it's really for like mass land clearing. And so it sits there an awful lot. We also have, in terms of our, and you guys actually declared that surplus at the last meeting. Right now, our excavator that we're using is a 1980 model. It's 39 years old. It's purchased used. Parts are hard to find. It's expensive. This is what we actually used this past summer to replace all the washouts and culverts and everything. So, considering that, Bill called forward and Tyrell worked on looking at some other options. And what we'd like to do is to trade in that dozer and purchase a 2015 Caterpillar excavator. The excavator is a much more versatile piece of equipment. We can use it for pipes, drains, ditches, material movement, all kinds of things. Yancey Brothers had this Caterpillar we're looking at getting, this excavator, on the lease program. And at the end of the terms of the lease, they advertised for sale. They had this one for $129,000. But they have agreed that they would, and they want to sell it before the end of the year, they'd reduce the price for the county down to $95,000, allow us a trade-in allowance of $25,700 for the dozer, leave us a balance of $69,300, plus for another $3,000 of not vehicle warranties, but a piece of equipment. They're saying for $3,020 we'll give you that 36-month like power trade warranty, which is really good. So that would be a total of $72,320. And we would recommend moving forward with that trade and acquisition, that piece of equipment. Again, the other equipment that we have just sits for a long time. We have another dozer. This dozer is set up to, it's what, a D7, which is a pretty good size dozer. And the excavator would be a piece of equipment that we could use for a lot of projects. So that would be our recommendation.
And the new excavator is more properly sized for the culvert replacement.
It's bigger than what we're,
A little bit bigger, it's in the 50,000 pound range. And the other one's so old that throughout the summer we had some parts issues and waited 2 or 3 weeks at times just to find parts to get that old back on.
and we keep that as kind of backup or keep it for loading in certain locations.
Right, load dirt with it or load millings or rock and stuff.
Right now, we have to move it around when we get ready to.
Yeah, we either have to move something out of the stockpile over to the dirt pile or a backhoe or something.
Yeah, one question is,
Yes.
Caterpillar just calling their track hoe an excavator. Is there something here I'm not seeing?
They're calling it.
I'm just calling it excavator. All right.
That's the 14th.
I think we've got some pictures or
Yeah,
Yeah.
pictures that are close here anyway.
got a picture of a couple of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking.
And Bill checked the price and all too. This is an excellent price based on the others we saw in the marketplace.
Based on the recommendation, anyone else have any questions for Theron or for Bill regarding this matter?
Well, if you need a motion, Madam Chair, I'll just go ahead and motion we buy it.
So there's been a motion on the floor that we accept the recommendation from our county administrator to purchase the equipment. Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion by Commissioner McCoy and second by Commissioner Hadley. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop for a minute and I'd like here to go over All right, the next item on our agenda is the 2020 workers' compensation award and dividend distribution. Anyone have that?
Conversation with yesterday, and one of the benefits of being part of the ABCC school is it's a large group, and due to the great claims history of last year, they were able to reduce the rate significantly. And additionally, experience modifier dropped from, I think, 1.9 down to 1.17. That is directly caused of our every night, basically, and all the process, we work hard to do. So, that's committed to money now, and that's what it's tired of doing.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to statewide mutual aid and assistance agreement. Right next is the statewide mutual aid and assistance agreement.
Statewide mutual aid is the first thing I with that, and all along the state farm, that's one. It's a 4-year agreement prior to
Mr. Bill, and second by Mr. Coy, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Item number 7 is appointment to the planning commission and district board. There's been a motion to table the planning commission to district board and second by Commissioner Catley. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item is an appointment to the Recreation Advisory Committee, District 1. That is my district, and the person that's in that area that's assigned is Joe Howard. I have talked with him. He does want to remain on the board, so I'd like to put a motion that he stays on the board. There's been a motion by Commissioner Hines and second by Commissioner Redfield. I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item is appointment to the Recreation Advisory Committee, District 2. I have talked with Ms. Ron, and she agrees that she would like to stay on the board. That's why I'm hoping that there's a motion by Commissioner Gray and second by Commissioner Hines for the appointment for the Recreation Advisory Committee. I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item, item 10, is appointment to the Recreation Advisory Committee at large. I have, I know I need to recommend him. I've not talked with them. If anyone doesn't have anyone right now, I'd like to make a motion at the table. Unless someone, there's been a motion to table, second by Commissioner Redfield. I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. The next item, item 11, appointment to the Public Facility Authority in the District Board.
I'll make a motion for the first appointment back on.
There's a motion by Commissioner Redfield and second by Commissioner Hadley to reappoint David Slack to the board. I'd like to take a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next appointment is to the Two Rivers RC and D board. And so there's also the RC and D alternate.
That is correct, Madam Chair. And Tyrell and I have just hammered this thing out. He is going to be, he will be appointed to the RC and I will be his alternate. So I make that motion.
So we have a motion and a second for the Two RC and D for the appointment alternate. As this will be in the name of the state. So we have vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, appointment to the Board of Assessors. Current individual, that's on there. Hadley to reappoint Ms. Fox to the Board of Assessors. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Appointment to the Three Rivers RDC Board.
This is a public,
They have been our public representative for a long time.
And the other report is that it's
Yes. We have a motion on the floor. So there's a motion that you have it, that the board to the board to do it on this floor. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The appointment to the Cabinet Board. I have been on that board, but I would like to give those to you all. And they are up to the bylaws so that the village will only have on how the time term. Well, at this time, I would like to give another to you all. Item 18 is appointment to the Industrial Development Board. All right, at this time, currently we have Robert Ward, and I have spoken with him on the 35 and 37%. And at this time, I would like to recommend that we be patient with the time. Anything else? Well, he's not saying either way, he just said that he did. I just, that we can, and I did it right along.
Usually you try to get, someone affiliated with two of the different people, each political party, or the state with, Republicans, to get the foundation. But I'm with the importance of, this, next year's state election, we probably need to do this.
Item number 20 is change orders number 2 for the public works code and Woodward Vice Business
in November, you got to take over the contract for included in that contract total was site prep and bill total $54,000. Still call board that I was ready to call the contractor, and we worked on some other ways to address that. They do it, so we have changed that cost to $4,000. That's $35,000. So what we're doing is recommending for a $35,000 credit.
Item, now 21, appointment to the zoning board of appeals. He actually knocked that out there. There's been a motion to table this by Commissioner Gray and second by Commissioner Floyd. This has been up, second on the actual vote, all those in favor, and opposed, motion carries. The next item is item number 2, appointment to the board of school board to an unexpired term. Arnold is
I would like to make
There's been a motion by Commissioner Gray, and second by Commissioner Floyd to table this. At this time, I'd like to ask for a vote, all those in favor. Motion carries, anyone opposed? The next item on the agenda is a report from the finance director.
I think that the report is correct. I will add that the top of the department president, I would say a couple of weeks after now, was question I think the both of those that they don't know. And this is the legal plot, the way that's going to work is what the revenue requires of them into those two accounts. The collections of both of those start in January. Be able to go ahead and go to the slot, or I guess what we collect in the other slot, and pay off the bill.
close. We're 2 weeks away, or 3 weeks away from having to collect 8%. I don't have to reach out to our business and for them because not only Marietta County, but a lot of counties are going to be impacted by it. I also want to say after the legislative consulting session, a couple years ago, we had Todd and others come down and give us a recap. And we really not been on that long, but I would like to know when we see the board that we have them come back because there's a couple of people legislative issues passed, especially the one on sales tax and stipends on one, and how that will affect that revenue coming to the county. So once again, we want to make sure everybody is doing it when it comes to that. So I would like you got this. The payment plan and your system as well, so we can what they're going to made. Yeah, well, I was thinking of what they're not all residents in their little town. They live somewhere else and have business here and hanging out here for 8%.
Well, we probably do take our real business like old businesses.
It's something that, I mean, you have to go back and try, I mean, the business will have to make up that difference if they don't collect it. Anything else? Thank you for your report. The report from, our county administrator.
We're very busy. We, I was here to talk a lot more about the first bit, talk very well, with all the staff. With the city water fuel, the idea of these providers, those two items that bring back pretty good. The bus that we used to have that IDA it got old. We converted that, but that is utilized for free. So we gave it back and put it there. It would do it so that weapons without a bus, recreation, city. This lady has held us really good and she is asking for so to look at basically going to her that is about $5,000. You know, very good they get the time that will show you great patients forward. But we will look great at recreation by there for that
Unfortunately, I have a little Well, talk about the country Christmas. I think it went well, but I just want to let people, first let me give my appreciation to the city attorney for allowing us to host this event, and also to the Board of Council for allowing us to do the report. But with that being said, also I would like to thank the sheriff's department, the sheriff's office, and what they have done for us, the fire department, the public work, everyone. I just want to thank everyone who worked out the team. I think we did well, and I hope this is something that we can continue. But with that being said, me as the chairperson, I would like to say that I am not in this alone. This committee is made of other members, and one from the city. The Joseph is here at Mango City, from Mango, Chairman Regular, and we're there speaking over from Jay, to the Ann, to Luke, to this person from Moto, to this part of Manchester. And look at what's going on. But, young spring, Luke, so with that being said, I want to say that that is not a board, but it is a committee that we work together to set the rules and regulations. But also, I would like to point out that this committee is not under the umbrella of Miller County, but it is under the umbrella of the Chamber of Commerce Education for Tourism. So this is a tourism event, and I think it's represented well this year. So also, I'd like to point out that all the funding that comes from the donations from contractors, members, individuals, cities, and it all goes to the Chamber of Commerce. It doesn't come to the U.S. County. So also, I know that there was some thought or some concern about Miller County entering a free into the event. But with that being said, I would like to point out that this event is not hosted by Miller County, but it is under the Chamber of Commerce umbrella. So also, I have an entry for the Boys Club. They would like to enter a free in also. So I don't know where this event is going. I hope it's not that it will be